Welcome, my name is Jack, and this is Company of Heroes Ardennes Assault. I am really excited to play this game, and I hope you'll stick around, join me throughout this series as we jump into this game, and it's the next installment in the Company of Heroes franchise. Now, I played the first Company of Heroes. I have a boxed copy of the original Company of Heroes, Opposing Fronts, and Tales of Val. They were the three from the original set. I love them. The first one especially, that Normandy mission, playing as the Allies, so much fun. These are strategy RTS games, by the way, if you don't know what they are. Now, Company of Heroes 2 came out, I was just like, oh, I just don't get that same feeling from it. It was set in the eastern front of World War II, lots of snow, didn't seem to run too well on my computer. I just didn't get that, it felt a bit sluggish, didn't get that right feel from it. I played the beta of it, I played some of the free-to-play, but I never got around to buying it because it just didn't seem right. Now this one has come out and this has really piped up my interest, and I finally got my hands on playing it. It's really cool. It's a non-linear campaign, so it's like a strategic map, and you get to move your forces around throughout these scenarios. You have an Airborne, a Mechanized, and a support unit, and moving those battalions to conquer. And I want you guys to join me as we go through this, and hopefully when I play these, I'll do a mission, and then we'll do some of the strategic map, and then will be an episode, and hopefully at the end of the episode you'll be like, oh Jack, you know, you might want to use more machine guns to hold positions, or why aren't you using mortars and stuff like that. So I hope you'll join me throughout this series. I've played the opening mission just to get to grips with it, make sure it works. By the way, I'm playing the game on medium to high settings. Not as good as it could look, just so we can get those solid 30 frames a second, so it looks gorgeous. And hopefully, I think this campaign will be really interesting because the results matter. There's one save, I can't revert. If something goes wrong and I lose forces, that could be it. So we might not even win this. I'm going to play on standard. We're going to start a fresh campaign. I'll do the first mission again, explain stuff, and I think you'll get the feel for it better that way. It's for those who are familiar with RTS games. I've played all the first ones. I've played other games. I'm not great at them, especially in multiplayer, but I really enjoy them. Easy, we won't be going to that, and hard for expert Company of Heroes. And I haven't played much Company of Heroes 2. Standard sounds good. We'll start a new campaign. You've played the intro mission before. Would you like to play it again? We will play it again. If you have played Company of Heroes 2 before, you might want to skip ahead to episode 2. But we're going to play it again just so we can explain the concepts. And I think it does a really good job at doing that. And it's actually quite a fun mission, and it looks great as well. So this is set in the Battle of the Bulge, so western front of Germany, towards the end of, well, during World War II. We should get a cutscene.
From the tiny foothold taken on the beaches of Normandy in June of 1944, Allied forces have established an ironclad front across a once occupied Europe.
So we've pushed into Germany, and it's coming into winter, and that's the issue. So the subtitles there, you can read it. It'll probably be a bit too quiet for you to hear the talking.
Success has not come at an easy price.
If you've seen the Band of Brothers series, really highlights this kind of battle. A really excellent series as well.
Allied command has been forced to call a halt while supply and manpower situations are worked out.
So essentially we're holding our ground because we don't have much supplies. Getting into winter, we don't have the air forces, everyone's weary. We need to just hold our point until winter is over, and then we can keep pushing.
Before the assault on the German homeland begins.
But this is where, well, the Germans take advantage of that, and especially with their blitzkrieg tactics, they're just going to push.
We're going to be taking over sentry duty from the Airborne over checkpoint 5.
Cool, so I can explain some of the stuff in the game here. The tutorial won't explain too much about abilities and stuff, but I can do that, and I think this is a good time to explain it. But then again, if you have seen this, jump into episode 2, where we'll get right into the gritty bits of what this particular thing of the game has to offer. Rightio, so we've got two groups of riflemen, and here is our base, and it's made up of a couple of units. And compared to other RTS games, we have everything to start with, which is really cool. You have all the buildings, and then here we have a couple of, there's just one? Maybe there's another one there. Just some machine gun nests. We've got the 4 buildings, and one of them is open. We can build stuff from it. But then the other ones are locked, and we have to buy some things to unlock them. What we're doing is we're training up some rear echelon. They're kind of they're the cheapest units to get, and they're good at constructing defenses, repairing and stuff. Last ditch infantry pushes. And you'll see there's a couple of resources down here. We've got manpower. That's your bread and butter. Everything costs manpower. The larger the army, the lower the income rate, though. Now we've got munitions, and that's used for calling down airstrikes or buying certain weapons. And we'll see that later on because we can upgrade our riflemen either with a bar machine gun, a heavy machine gun, or penstrikes are the German versions, bazookas. Let's move up here. I know where I need to go since I've done this one, but after that it'll be all fresh and it'll be cool to jump into some fresh material. Now, the cool thing about this is also fuel. Now, fuel is really slow, but that's what you need to especially get... it says Germans battle phases. This is if you're playing as the Germans. But for getting those vehicles, because they use a lot of fuel. Now, on this map here, you'll notice there's points, and they're all locked out, but on a normal battle, they'd all be neutral. That's the word I'm looking for. And you have to secure them. By securing them, they give you something. So this one here would give us... Actually, these ones here give us a bit of each. Usually it's just sometimes there'll be like fuel, ones in particular for fuel and whatnot. But this one here gives us some munitions and fuel. Now, as long as the sectors are connected, that's where we can get resources. If we had all these boys and the Germans came in and knocked out these, we wouldn't be getting the resources from that. I think that's quite cool.
They could sure use it.
Right, so we're just taking over the watch for someone here, you know, just setting the scene of the game. Last one down here, we've got population cap, so, you know, there's only so much population we can use. So, you've got to make sure that you can hold enough, and at the very start of the game, you've got to do that big push just to get enough so you can get income coming in, and then you can build off that. Rightio. So with our infantry, this game has a couple of things that you need to be aware of. There's a cover system, which is really important. We've got green, which is the heavy cover. I'm just going to get my guys here to build a machine gun nest. Build it up here. I think that's a good spot to build it. But there's also flanking involved as well. So these guys could be under heavy cover, like, say for example here. But if guys come up behind them, their heavy cover is going to do absolutely no good. So that's important. I'm going to put some guys in the watchtower as well, because it's useful. Look at that range boost. That was awesome. Neat. And I can jump them out at any point. We can zoom in here, and they're standing up there. But remember that the game is running not at the highest quality. I'm actually getting 60 frames a second though, which is really good, and I think when the battles get a bit more intense, we'll need it. Maybe I do some tuning later on, I can crank the graphics a little bit, but I think it's at a good balance at the moment. So we're putting a heavy machine gun into it as well, and there's an advantage actually if I put in a rear echelon group in there. They get rifle grenades, which is essentially just a grenade that you lob off the mount of a gun. Like that there is the grenade off the end of the rifle. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's kind of hard to describe. Oh, we gotta build some.
Our fighting position now has
some tank traps. You notice it also took them a moment to get out of the buildings there. So for example, if you have a heavy machine gun and you're building a... Oh, that is not what I wanted to do. I just wanted to build the one. Build the two. And you guys can build the other two here. There we go. So by having a machine gun set up, telling them to remove it actually takes a large amount of time. So these units come in squads, so there's 5 here, and this is their strength. We can lose individual men, we can withdraw them and replenish them. You'll see that definitely at some point of this game. Now we're building some tank traps. Now, notice the flares? It's time to move.
Use the bunkers. We need to look out the watchtower.
Right, get these guys back in here. We're getting an artillery strike down onto us. Hitting that snow, I love that snow effect. Oh, the trees getting smashed up. Now the other thing is, hold and advise, we're not expecting this. And then we've got more artillery coming here. The other thing is that rifles do good damage over a long range, so you kind of want to be further back. But the closer you are, the more accuracy they have. Alright, we've got Germans coming through the tree line. Heavy machine gun, open fire. And that will force these guys to be suppressed. And you'll see they'll have to drop down. They can still fight. Oh, there's a grenade going in. Nice. They can still move and fire, but you notice that their movement speed is severely reduced because they can't move as far. Oh, a beautiful grenade in there. Just peppering away, causing some wounds. We've got a couple of them. Now, as they get closer, these riflemen are going to be able to open fire and do loads of damage, which is great. But you see that other points of the map, we're losing lots of stuff, which is not great at all. We're restricted to this point of the game because it is the tutorial, but I think it does a good way of explaining the concepts of the game.
We need artillery support over here now.
Now here we get commander abilities, and as we take points and do stuff throughout the game, like killing enemies, we get these points, and we can use them to spend one of 4 abilities our commander has. Now one of them is the artillery strike, and we can call it down say here.
That'll keep the enemies ahead pinned down.
Pull those down.
On any guys coming
And that's going to start blowing up everyone. So I'll tell the machine gun to aim at these guys over here, pin these guys. Right, they're starting to flank us actually. See, these guys have popped around, but thankfully in that watchtower we've got the height over them, which is good. We have frag grenades, so we could lob a frag grenade over, but there's only one of them left. I think we'll be alright, yeah. There's quite a lot of them here. We've got smoke grenades as well. Creates a line of smoke in a target direction. Any vehicles hit by a grenade will be also blinded. So this is the range, so I could... Where are these guys going to stop? Because there's 4 of them there. Where are they running to? Okay. Throw the frag in. Now that cost a bit of munitions, but super effective. Actually decapitated some people there. That's not great to look at. They're getting pushed back. We've defended. They're all retreating. Great. Now, riflemen are accurate over a long amount of range, especially when behind cover. They won't take many shots themselves. But if you've got guys with some machine guns, you want to close that distance because that's where they're super effective.
What's the status on Jackson and his airborne team in
Right, now you see it all over the map where we're starting to lose stuff. But there's 2 points which we're still holding. And the cool thing about this tutorial is we're going to switch between the 3 sets of commanders and we're going to see how they all work. Because in the full game you'll use all 3, but not all at once. But this game here gives you an example. Now we're going to hold this point where they're airborne now. We've got some guys here. We're getting surrounded.
Keep those crossroads open.
Now I'm going to actually take the machine gun out.
They're trying to outflank us.
We've got some guys back here. Oh, the machine gun seems to be fighting.
Listen up! Listen up!
Got a captain there. So there doesn't seem to be anyone behind us.
Move, goddammit!
Let's move that up there. These guys are going to get peppered quite a lot. Get behind cover.
Call in some paratroopers. Maybe we can flank these bastards.
Flanking would be
There's a
good.
drop zone behind those houses.
So paratroopers are all about mobility. Mobility is their strong point. Now we can cool down with some points. They actually cost, sorry, they cost manpower, you'll see there. I can call them in. I wonder if I can actually change that direction. Don't think so. I think it's just pointing towards it. And then you'll see, very slowly, this plane, I can't actually view over there. It's coming in. It's going to drop some paratroopers behind them. Now the heavy machine gun team is getting weak. They've still got all 3 members, but each of them are pretty weak, I would presume. There's a heavy machine gun coming. Thankfully, we've pinned these guys down, which is really good. Some guys in those houses. When you're in the houses, they're hard to get out. But here comes the paratroopers. Now they... Oh gosh, all the guys are right here. I'm going to give them some Thompsons, so it'll take a bit of time to get it. But it's going to make them super effective at killing these guys. And I'm going to get them to toss a grenade inside that house. That should do some damage within that. Now this machine gun's set up in this direction, so if I pop around behind him, we can easily kill him. Like so. Right, there's some guys over here. We've got some in that house. Which obviously you can't seem to see. I'll grab these guys, we'll come around, and we'll throw some grenades into this house. How much do they cost? 35. We only got 59, it's not very much. There's only one left. Try and break in and get them out.
Vestano, what was the sit rep when you came in?
Not good. We got Crouch on all sides. Village is surrounded.
Can we
Alright.
get across to Krinkelt?
The village is surrounded.
The whole place is crawling with Germans.
So I know where I need to hit next. I'll make this a bit quicker for us.
Confirm what the hell
We need to connect other sectors. I don't actually know if this is part of the new game or not.
Radio's gonna need a boost. Get over to the
But it's a
tower
pretty cool
with the
mechanic.
forest. We can tie into
It
it.
might just be part of the story mission, but the cool thing about this is that when we take sectors, some of them will be just, you know, random mission based on what they have, what they've got, etc., etc. But some of them are actually based on historical events, which I think is pretty cool as well. So we're going to come up. I've got group paratroopers with the submachine gun. I got 3. How did I get 5 from that? 3 groups of riflemen, and I've got the heavy machine gun. And we're going to make our way up this hill to take this point here. Now, I'm going to grab the riflemen, get them in behind these trees. Let's get the heavy machine gun up. And you'll notice that I kind of want to, I don't want to deploy that machine gun until I know where I want to put it. I think putting it right in here, yeah, we can see them. And now, where is our submachine gun squad? Pull them up to the front line here. The car's coming from the side. The machine gun's getting good at pinning them down. You'll probably also notice when I put my symbol over this heavy snow, or the thick snow, we get that that symbol, That's saying these guys are in heavy snow. Move on the other side. Actually, just move towards them. Both on the cover, but we've got the submachine guns, so we should just rip through them. Yeah. Brilliant. Oh, heavy snow means they move really, really slowly. Oh, what are these guys up here? Elite paratroopers armed with heavy machine guns. These guys are getting pretty nailed up. We'll move them out of heavy cover, but hopefully we can pull them further back down the line. Now, flanking is super important as well, so I'll try and move these guys around. That machine gun needs to take them out. Oh, I need a group of Pathfinders, actually. Now, it shows something cool. We've got strafing run, actually. That's pretty neat. But we can call down a supply drop. Now, supply drop's in a big circle. Oh, there's quite a few guys up there. These guys are pretty weak. Let's call down that strafing run.
Just got a report of an infantry unit being wiped out.
Can't use ability on target. Oh, we have to have vision, probably. I think I lost that group of two, sadly. Right, here comes the plane. That was awesome. You see that getting nailing all the trees there? That was really cool.
Okay, go ahead.
Right, let's move the machine gun up.
Hurry! God damn it! Change of plans! Run!
We need more guys. These guys are strong. Now, the Pathfinder can do something quite cool. They can build a setup beacon. Now, that's hidden from everybody else, from the enemy, but it reveals... it reveals nearby units and improves the accuracy of paratroopers in the area. But the other cool thing it does is it allows paratroopers to reinforce. So when they're close to it, I can now reinforce, and paratroopers will essentially just drop down and reinforce that area. Right. Looks like it's clear up here. Let's move these guys. Get the machine gun. Pretty sure this is the end of this section, and then we'll move on to the third and final section. So we're done with the support crew at the start, by holding and defending. Then we've gone to the mobility group, which is the Airborne. Now the final one is Mechanized, or the Mobilized Infantry, Mechanized Infantry. It's tanks. Like, it's the cool stuff. So these guys are all within that point radius, making it tick down, or tick up really quickly. And in a moment. There we go. Point is captured, and we survived the enemy attack at Rockrath. I don't even know how to say that.
Jackson to CP. Jackson to CP. Sitrep. Do you read me? Edwards reporting. Good to hear your boys are still kicking out there. Go ahead, Jackson.
Move these guys into defensive positions.
We're holding on to the village center, and we've...
Yeah, because I've done this mission, I know what's going to happen. But I think what's going to be cool is, like, I won't sit around and know what's going to happen in the real game. When we play the rest of the story, it'll be like, oh gosh, what's going to happen next? So, bit of a frame drop there, but generally we don't have those big cuts. Mechanized infantry is here. We've got tanks and we've got infantry. Now, the awesome thing I liked about this, I was like, I bet you it's not going to do it. And it did it. I was like, yes. I got these two guys in a move there, or in a row there. If I tell them to move... Oh, well... It did it earlier. Maybe it's because they can't move out of that area, they can't do it. Oh, it's probably why. I just ruined my whole amazing demonstration. Oh, I'm going to unlock the bar. I'm getting ahead of myself. So these are the weapon ranks. I'll unlock the bar. And once that's up, we can get these guys to go and grab a heavy... It's essentially a heavy... It's not the heavy machine gun, but it's a good machine gun. And it's close to medium range firepower compared to this one here. Sorry, the M1919A6. And they can grab one off the rank, but it takes 60 each. So I've got one. If I wait a couple more seconds, we'll be able to get another one.
We need to break through enemy forces to reach the Airborne boys in Rockarat.
I'll move these guys up. Like, I can tell them to vault fences and do other cool stuff like that. One more.
Moving now.
Right, there we go. Right. Can we move up, please? We can. If I tell these guys to move... usually it does it. They should stay in their same line that I had them in originally, which is quite cool. These guys are a lot faster than everyone else. Right, I want to move them straight off the road, just move them, take out these enemy tanks. Good one here, actually. With a tank, if you've played these kinds of games before, you want to have the front of your tank facing enemy anti-armor.
Men, use combined arms tactics.
So combined arm tactics is that when infantry is next
Combined
to...
arms tactics can give both infantry and armor a boost.
infantry and vehicles are together. That's when they become super effective. Now we've got a heavy machine gun up the road. And we need to make our way up there. So we're going to move... Really? Oh, there's Crouch over here. Running from all angles. Does that tank get penalties for going through heavy snow as well? Not as much.
Cavalry riflemen are ready to mobilize.
Alright.
On your orders.
Oh, we've got a tank.
The Kraut's got Panzer IVs here!
Firing.
Okay, fire on the Panzer IV. No, don't move to attack. I want you to fire. Why aren't they attacking? Those on the move to it. So that the shells is bouncing off each other.
We just lost a unit.
Oh no! What's the guys near the MG there? So what I can do now is I can call some riflemen, and these are going to be quite important. We'll see in a moment.
Riflemen en route to the battle.
Thankfully, we don't have to break through to here. So just taking out these guys here on their heavy machine gun.
Orders incoming!
I think I lost. Oh no, I got one group of infantry is there. Oh, the other one's hiding in this forest here.
Destroyed.
Oh no, but we lost that tank. There's a bunch of guys down here. We'll have to open it with those machine guns. Yeah, super effective. Cool, so we've got this half track here, and what's in it is a group of infantry, but also the ability to heal tanks. So I'm going to put these guys here, and I'm going to upgrade these guys with the ability to heal other tanks that are close. Now I need to get some infantry to move up and secure the path, because what's going to happen is
Coordinate barrage.
we're going to escort men, or the allies from here, outside of this, out of this village, essentially, and back to this line here. So this has got it. So if we lock down here, that's now healing. Right, it seems to only heal though when they're not in combat.
Down the metal, boys!
Damn good to see you boys.
Everything's going to shit
Oh,
over here.
you're not in
Crouch
cover,
moving
right?
in
Yeah,
from the
out.
north
That
and
then means
east.
negative cover essentially takes extra
I say
damage.
we give you cover.
That's because they're out in the
Let's
open.
get the men out of Rockarat.
Agreed.
Okay, listen up. Airborne is gonna fall back along the road back to the HQ.
Right.
Provide supporting fire along the way as they move.
Can do.
Bastano, you take the first group and guide them back to the base.
There's guys coming
bring
from
up the second group
the north
once
and the
you've
south,
pushed off.
but we should be able to hold it. Like, I'm directly
Yes, sir.
between with my tanks
First
group here.
on me!
And in a moment we'll be able to get 8 points, I can call in 2 more tanks.
Orders incoming!
I throw a grenade on that group, because they're tucked in behind cover. Yeah, that did the damage.
Enemy infantry!
Evacuees!
Stand ready! Move your ass! Go ahead!
Right, still be able to heal up. I can actually get these guys out, but I think they're good in there for the moment, and I think this ability is working fairly well. But I could actually get the guys out, and they would be manually healing it. These guys are in heavy cover behind that rock, which is great.
Second group, get ready.
Keep that area covered and cleared.
So,
Go, go, go!
somewhere in here, where is he? This one here, Jackson, he's the guy that we're trying to get out. He's the most important one of them all.
Enemy infantry taken out!
Send orders. Enemy infantry neutralized.
We could grab that heavy machine gun and set it up.
Squad, get
But
ready!
these guys are in a good position. Okay, everyone, and then Jackson will be the last one to come.
Okay, that's all of us. I'm covering the rear.
Holy
All right, get that infantry back here, but keep that corridor
Right.
open.
Jackson's coming.
Gonna take us in a crowd line. Stay alert.
Enemy tank is coming!
Oh gosh, and here it comes.
Ambush!
It's an ambush.
Keep
Okay,
moving!
reverse move,
Keep
reverse move,
moving!
tanks. Jackson's there.
Jackson!
Jackson's getting
Keep moving!
trapped between all those tanks. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, there goes my tank. Jackson has disappeared. We need to retreat. Reverse move, reverse move. So there's actually a quick retreat button I can use, which tells my men to run, just full bolt. Don't worry about people shooting you.
Someone get us out of here!
Reverse move is really good for those tanks.
Move your ass! Go!
Right, we seem to get everyone out. But these guys won't stop until they get all the way to the HQ, which is actually a long way away.
Jackson?
Derby, any sign of Jackson out there?
Oh gosh.
We lost sight of him falling back. Germans are everywhere back there.
Germans are pouring in more
So,
troops. Watch the
Germans
plan.
are just annihilating into this front. They're pouring in everything they've got.
No use wasting lives here.
And what we're saying is we just need to retreat. We've lost Jackson, but it's just time to retreat.
Coordinated defense.
Oh gosh, I've lost that tank. And call on 2 more. But that's the mission complete. It's actually... losing Jackson there is part of the mission, and quite sad, but it sets the scene well, and we'll get a good description here of what's going to happen for the rest of the campaign.
On the 16th of December 1944, a massive artillery barrage caught Allied forces off guard, signaling the start of an unexpected German counteroffensive in the quiet Ardennes forests. Their intention? Split the Allied lines in half and ultimately claim the valuable harbor at Antwerp.
The battle in Belgium, split the Allies, go through. So, cold blowing in, superior air forces are grounded, the Germans are taking full advantage of the situation. The Germans will just go for it.
Panzer divisions hit the weakly defended Lausanne Gap along a 45-mile front, driving deep into Belgium and Luxembourg. Within 24 hours of the Germans unleashing their desperate offensive, the initiative in the battle for Europe completely changed hands. The 5th Panzer Division attacked Bastogne and St. Vite, aiming to capture these strategic road junctions and secure their hold on the region.
And this is where this campaign's going to take place. It's going to be cool. I hope you'll stick around. It's going to be pretty neat.
Territory. Though our lines may have bent, our men will not break.
Jeez, how heroic sounding is that? And that's what they reviewers and other people who've played this game says what's so cool about it. It's just, it feels so much more heroic and, I guess, so much polished, especially like that first game, Company of Heroes. Ardennes Assault, that was the opening, essentially the tutorial, but a great starter, and I think a great way to explain what this is going to hold in. And in a moment, once the game loads it, it's going to show you the strategic map. Oh, actually, we get to choose 3 companies to play the campaign with. Now, I actually stayed at this for ages. Did not realize the one on the right says purchase, and it's DLC. And so it's $5 to buy that. And we're not going to go with it. We'll go with the standard 3. And so we've got the support guy, and we've got abilities. And as the campaign goes, we can actually customize these as we go along. So there's the support guy we played with. There's the mechanized infantry one we played with, and the airborne. So we'll run with those 3. Possibly, if you guys want to see the Rangers, possibly after we've done this campaign, we could run it again on a harder difficulty with the Rangers. But we'll see how we go on this one to start with. So here's the map and the regions. New orders as follows. Develop and execute defensive plan in the Ardennes region. Priority target Elsenborn Ridge to be secured against German offensive immediately. And so the plan now is to move this into Elsenborn Ridge and take it. So we can move them around like so. Cool. Well, I'll leave it there. Well, I can show you what the next one's going to take, but we won't jump into it straight away. But we're going to be defending against a large number of German forces. It's going to be sweet. I hope you stick around and stay tuned for episode 2. If you do want to be notified of it, push the subscribe button on YouTube. You can find it yourselves. I'm sure you can do that. And then you'll get notified and you'll see when the 2nd and 3rd episodes come out. And I'll also be adding this to a playlist as well. If you want to buy the game, check it out on Games Planet. They were generous enough to give me a key. There'll be a link to their store in the description below. And I hope you check it out for yourself. We'll see you next time.